Well, say goodbye to the IRS and say goodbye to federal income tax. I might be getting ahead of myself right now. The Fair Tax Act is something that is being discussed right now, and it would mean a world of change for literally everybody living in the United States. We're going to go over what this means because it is an absolute possibility that this does pass the House, that this does pass through the Senate, this ends up on the president's desk, and then... well, he said that he would veto it if it ever got that far. So that's why I'm saying we can't get ahead of ourselves. But yes, they are literally discussing right now whether they should abolish the IRS, get rid of federal income taxes, and replace them with something that would be very beneficial for a lot of people, but may not be for those that are living currently paycheck to paycheck. We're going to discuss what the Fair Tax Act is. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2023 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. And look, if you're brand new to investing, you don't know how or where to buy stocks in crypto, you got a link in the description below for Webull. It is super simple to set up your account. Any deposit, you guys are getting at least 6 free stocks, up to 12 free stocks, and a $1 crypto trade is going to get you $5 in free crypto. If you guys want crypto exclusive exchanges where you can buy, sell, trade, short, leverage, all that good stuff, you got KuCoin and Binance down there. At KuCoin and Binance, they offer rewards for the more active trader. So the more you trade, the more you're going to earn. But please be aware, if you hold your cryptocurrency on those exchanges, it's considered a loan to those exchanges. If you want it to be considered your asset, you need to hold it on a cold storage or DeFi wallet. Guys, if you've already got ideas about the Fair Tax Act, let me know down in the comments below if you think it's a good one or not. But we're basically going to be going over a definition of what the Fair Tax Act is, what it means to abolish the IRS and get rid of all of the federal income taxes, and what it's going to be replaced by. Because I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of people that would benefit greatly from this happening, and your paychecks would soar, but you'd see a lot more if you go to the store and you're trying to buy anything. So now the Fair Tax Act's purpose, in its current context, the Fair Tax Act is partially a response to the Inflation Reduction Act, where they were hiring 87,000 new IRS agents. What this is going to do, the act proposes much more than dismantling the IRS, and the framework has been around for decades. In its current iteration, the Fair Tax Act would get rid of every type of current federal tax. I mean, sounds good to me. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds great to me. Now, this includes payroll, self-employment, estate, death, and corporate taxes. And it's going to replace them with a nationwide 23% retail tax that happens at the checkout counter for new goods and services. So depending on where you live right now, you go to the store and you've got that sales tax. If something costs $1, you're going to the counter, you're paying $1.06, $1.07, $1.08, depending on where you live. And I guess if you're living in New York or California, it's probably even more than that. But that's the sales tax. That would increase drastically, okay? It's going to be replaced by a 23% federal sales tax, which is essentially going to be bringing your total sales tax to around 30%. Now, according to Americans for Fair Taxation, a single-issue nonprofit group that's been advocating for the fair tax since 1995, used goods and businesses or business-to-business purchases would not be taxed under this plan. It's only new goods and services that are being taxed by the federal government. The 23% rate is tax inclusive, meaning that percentage you pay is calculated based on the total price of your purchase. In everyday practice, the national sales tax rate under the Fair Tax Act would effectively be 30%. So you're taking your sales tax there, you're buying everything, and you're going out there. So think 30% sales tax as opposed to any income tax. Now, we know that people pay roughly 30%, 20%, 10% in federal income taxes, so you might be saying that this is even worse. Well, it depends on your spending habits, okay? So how a nationwide or a national sales tax would work, instead of filing your tax return every year with the IRS, you go to the store and you get hit with that sales tax. Now, this is going to be interesting because it breaks it down as to whether or not a fair tax is better or worse than the current system we've got. I know your guys' brains are just moving right now. I can see the wheels turning there. I think it would be better. I want to know what you guys think, whether or not it would be better or worse right now, because we're going to jump into some stuff that you might not be thinking about at the moment. Now, Americans for the Fair Taxation note that upward of 250 million people, including tourists, would be subject to the higher sales tax. See, tourists right now, they certainly are not paying United States income taxes. They're not filing a tax return with the United States. They're not contributing anything other than the local sales tax that we currently have. 250 million people would be subject to this tax on an annualized basis. So they'd be paying into the federal system, whereas about currently 155 million Americans currently file federal taxes. So that's an incredible difference. Roughly 100 million additional people paying into the federal system based on that. Now, they say that the organization claims that gross domestic product, or GDP, on this Fair Tax Act would jump by 10.5% in the first year alone. Now, that would be a massive increase, and that's based on a massive increase in sales, okay? So you have to think, gross domestic product is all of the money that gets, spent and earned on an annual basis. And think about it, too. If you're earning a larger paycheck, if you pay no federal income taxes, and you're bringing home an extra 10, 20, 30% per paycheck, you're going to be encouraged to spend an extra 10, 20, 30% when you go out. Very few people will just stack up their savings and lean into that. Now, the counter argument or one of the arguments against the Fair Tax Act is clearly that there's a lack of precedent. We have not tried this before. We don't know how this would work if it was a consumption tax as opposed to an income tax and so on. Now, the analysis noted that if households are grouped together by consumption level and not by income, okay, if you're looking at current income, this could benefit top earners more because, of course, they're paying a lot less in federal taxes. But top earners spend a lot more money. Top earners spend so much. If you're thinking about guys that earn $1 million a year, they spend a lot more money than you and I that are out there, spending whatever we spend. These top earners are going to, it looks like they're going to be better off, but they're the ones that are really spending, and they're the ones that are going to be getting hit. So the analysis noted that if households are grouped together by consumption level and not by income, the bottom 2/3 would see a tax break. So the bottom 2/3 of consumers would see a tax break out there, and that's huge news, right? Now the top third would pay more overall, but with households at the top still receiving a tax cut of about $75,000. So these major earners, they would be paying less in taxes, which I know is going to make a lot of people mad out there. But those that consume less are going to be much better off. Now, I don't know. That concludes the article there and going over all of that. Now, everybody wants to see the rich pay their fair share, and they absolutely would, being the top consumers out in the current economy. If you're thinking about this in any other way, this is going to benefit the people most who live frugal. Now, of course, you can have a millionaire who doesn't spend money on anything, and he's going to see a major tax break. He is going to see a major boost in his income, and he is going to be able to save a lot more money. And if you see somebody who is not earning much, but they are living paycheck to paycheck, their current situation's not going to change that much. Think about it. If their paycheck increases and the amount of money that they spend at the store increases, they are still going to be living paycheck to paycheck. So it really will focus on a shift in mentality on who this Fair Tax Act and abolishing the IRS and this federal income tax, who would benefit. If it is a consumption tax, it is obviously going to benefit those who consume less. So think about it this way. If you are able to budget, if you are able to cut costs, if you are able to live a more frugal lifestyle, and this does come into play, you are going to see a major boost in your income and the amount of money that you are able to save. But I want to know what you guys think. Fair Tax Act and the abolishment of the IRS. What do you guys think about it? Down in the comments below. I would love I would love to not pay any more federal income tax. I think it would be great. But what do you guys think? Let us know down there. And of course, if that button right there is still red, make sure to click it. Subscribe to the channel. Join us. Become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. You guys got Clear Bro 883 everywhere. You're getting 6 to 12 free stocks on Webull, KuCoin and Binance, free Discord. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.